Now I'm going to get into my offensive and defensive grades from week 4 against the Browns. And the first guy coming up is a guy we were just talking about. It's Jordy Nelson. Jordy last week, 6 catches, 48 yards, and 1 touchdown. And he made that clutch 2-point conversion catch to send it into overtime. My week 4 grade for Jordy Nelson is an A. I think he played really well, and he made really clutch catches when it mattered the most. But the show isn't just about me, and I want to know from you guys. Please grade Jordy Nelson's week 4 performance. If you guys think it's an A, type A. If you think it's B, type B. C, D, F, I would definitely be surprised. But grade Jordy Nelson's week 4 performance. Please type in the comment section below. The next guy coming up was an absolute beast. An absolute beast, and he's been a beast all year. It's Marshawn Lynch. Against the Browns last week, 20 carries for 130 yards on the ground. He ripped off a beautiful 52-yard run, which really got the Raiders' mojo going a little bit. He's the guy who's setting the tone for the Raiders this season. He's just running really, really tough on the ground, and I absolutely love it. And this year, 68 carries, 300 yards, 3 touchdowns. He's actually averaging 4.4 yards per carry, but still, 68 carries, 300 yards, and he scored 3 touchdowns those first 3 weeks. Marshawn's been an absolute beast, and he's really been able to take a lot of pressure off Derek Carr, and I think you've been able to see it those last few weeks. The last guy that I want to grade, and I can't give all good grades because then I don't think I'd be a very good teacher, it's Martavis Bryant. Martavis, 7 targets, 3 catches, 51 yards, and that horrible, horrible drop. He dropped like a 50-yard touchdown, and that was frustrating AF for me. So my week 4 grade for a guy like Martavis is a D. It could easily, if he would have caught that touchdown, been a B or an A, but when you drop that bad of a touchdown, luckily the Raiders didn't lose the game because of it, but when you drop that blatant of a wide-open touchdown, you're going to get a bad grade from me. So, guys, I want to know from you, who was the Raiders' offensive MVP week 4? Was it Derek Carr? Was it Marshawn Lynch? Was it Jordy Nelson? Who was the Raiders' offensive MVP week 4? Please, 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 please comment below. Raider Nation, I want to say thank you so much for tuning in to Raiders Report. And if you guys like what I'm wearing, I need you guys to go to Mizzen+Main. Go to www.comfortable.af and you guys can get your own shirts. Heck, they have shorts. They have unbelievable new stuff out for the fall. If you guys don't like dress shirts, they have flannels. All new stuff over at Mizzen+Main, www.comfortable.af, because their shirts are indeed comfortable as F. All right, now I'm going to get into my defensive grades. And the first guy coming up is friend of the show, Maurice Hurst. And last week against the Browns, he had a hell of a day. 4 tackles, 1 sack, and a forced fumble. And all that sack and that forced fumble came at crucial points. He made several clutch plays against the Browns. And I think it was one of the reasons why the Raiders' defense actually started to play a little bit better down the stretch. So my week 4 grade for Hurst is an A. And if you ask me, I think he was the best defensive player for the Raiders on the field last week. Next guy, another rookie, Arden Key. Now, 1 tackle, and he did have a stuff, but this is a guy who played in 61% of the snaps, and I think he was a guy, why a guy like Bruce Irvin looked super fresh at times, because you could keep Arden Key on the field, and he was just, sure, he didn't get to the quarterback, but Arden Key is a super athletic guy, and that's why I gave him a B, because I think he did ultimately play pretty well, especially playing 61% of the defensive snaps this early in his young career. Next guy coming up is a guy that I ripped a little bit last week, and it's Reggie Nelson. Reggie Nelson, I thought, struggled against the Dolphins, and I thought he played a little bit better this week against the Browns. 3 tackles, a pass breakup, and he did have a clutch interception, which is why I gave him the grade of a B. He did give up a touchdown, but he made plays when it mattered the most, and that's why I gave Reggie a B. So, guys, I want to know from you, who was the Raiders' defensive MVP week 4? Was it Mo? Was it Arden Key? Was it Reggie Nelson? Was it somebody else that I didn't talk about? Who was the Raiders' defensive MVP for week 4?